welcome back to the podcast. In today's episode, I'm going to speak on a corrupt government. Yeah, our government. Before I get into that, I do a few styles of episodes. Today's episode is a rant where I speak 10, 15, 20 minutes expressing my inner dialogue, sharing a message that was valuable to me that I'm hoping will provide value for you. I also do conversations with a like-minded individual. They are not interviews. I ask a few questions, but they're conversations. I'm just getting to know another individual, and we're looking to share what's helped us with you. And third, once I get some questions, you could email these questions into askjustin@myyahoo.com. And as long as they're good, quality questions, the shit ones will be ignored. The good questions will be addressed via threads, podcast episodes, and videos. So let's get into it. A corrupt government. My first point really comes down to a few obvious things. Number one is processed food. So if our government wanted you, the individual, to be healthy, they would be providing the stores with high quality food, not this fake factory made bullshit. So when I say high quality food, let's make it real clear and simple. I'm talking food that is simple in its ingredients, like Whole Foods, 1 ingredient, 2 ingredients, no more than 5 ingredients. Okay. And for anyone who wants to bust my ass, let's say you make chicken soup. That is fine because you're using Whole Foods. If you have, not the right thing. My mom makes chicken soup, so I'm not going to go into all the ingredients, but let's test myself. There's that soup bouillon. There's the chicken. There is like parsley. There's carrots. My point is all those are very simple ingredients. The bouillon is probably less than 5 ingredients, and that is like a broth type of thing. Chicken, simple. Carrots, simple. Parsley, simple. Okay? So if you're eating something like a fucking granola bar and it has 20 to 30 to 40 ingredients on it, oh my gosh, that is, number one, it is fogging your mind up because the ingredients in there are not meant to be digested by a human. They're not meant to be digested by anything, any animal. They're fake. They're factory-made foods that did not exist 50 years ago. Like, we've created more food in the past 50 years than in the past 2,000 years. And it's not because we're all innovative. It's because our government wants humans to be easily controlled and manipulated. And weak, soft, addicted humans are easily manipulated. See, things like GMOs, added sugars, preservatives, and artificial flavorings, all of this stuff is fake, fake, fake. And so let's zoom out a little bit. We live in this world. There's an ocean, there's sun, there's volcanoes, there's water. Yeah, an ocean. There is nature on our planet. There's animals. We grow vegetables and fruits. That's natural stuff. We're talking it was here before we were here, or it's at least natural. Then we can get into other areas like technology. We created that. GMOs, genetically modified foods. We created that. So humans are definitely intelligent in the terms of technology is a great tool. Like, I am so grateful that we have engineers and brilliant people, individuals learning how to build technology and innovate. But at the same time, there are malicious people who intend to control other human beings. That is a good transition spot into fact checkers. So we have social media, and a lot of people are connecting on social media, sharing their thoughts. Why the fuck do we have fact checkers? Well, the silly person would say, well, Justin, we don't want lies to be on the internet. We don't want not facts on the internet. But my feedback to you would be, what about healthy debate? What about freedom of speech? Having a conversation and working through problems through a conversation. What about that? So you're telling me the internet is just going to tell you or in me what is truth or not? But who's determining that? Who is choosing what the fact checkers claim to be true or not? Like it doesn't make sense, because there is clearly malicious intent if there is someone directing what these fact checkers claim to be true or false. See, healthy debate is how you get to the bottom of things. You have free speech, free debate, where individuals are listening, thinking, and working together to come to a sensible conclusion. Not just cancel culture, not just, you can't say this. Like, oh my gosh, that's just so dangerous, so dangerous. Then we have porn. Okay. There are so many things that our government gets all whiny about. Like, you can't call someone overweight. Everyone, even 400-pound people, are healthy. The fuck you mean? But then you're going to have young males, young children think that it's okay to have their fucking dick cut off before the age of what, 14, 16? That doesn't make sense. And tangent, we'll get back on track. So the porn, what porn does is it weakens family values. It weakens men. Men, or a man's whole reason biologically, is to reproduce, to find a high quality mate. What does porn do? It gives you an illusion. It gives you this complacent feeling that you have a high quality mate. Really, your mate is your fucking right hand. That's not a beautiful woman, but you're brainwashing yourself into thinking that you're all good. You're First of all, sperm is important to your body. It has a lot of nutrients in it. And when you are consistently ejaculating, those nutrients are leaving your body. Second, your dopamine circuitry. When you have cheap dopamine that comes from just effortlessly whacking off, that is subtracting from your, see, dopamine is the molecule of pursuit. So when you get cheap dopamine, you are destroying your ability to pursue anything meaningful and challenging. You get me? I hope that makes sense. And along with those biological issues, it weakens family values. It dehumanizes women. It makes men just weak pussies. And that's what our government wants, because when you're weak, you're easily manipulated. Okay? So let's get into the fact that Netflix, these social, I don't know what to call them, these mainstream companies, they push promiscuity so much. And this goes back to the transgender point of some kid. How is he intelligent enough to have his dick cut off before he's 16? Like, here's the point that I wanted to riff on is, you can't drink alcohol until you're 18 or 21, but you can have your penis sawed off before that. What are we doing? Seriously, where is the logic there? There's no logic there. None, except for the fact that our government is corrupt and they want humans to be confused and lost and aimless, because that creates easily manipulated human beings. Okay? Do you get the recurring theme? I hope this is making sense. Now, with the pushing of the promiscuity, once again, that is attacking family values. It is encouraging casual sex. Casual sex creates lost and aimless humans. And when we have lost and aimless humans, it is not a good thing. See, right now, what I would say we're living through is a meaning crisis. The meaning crisis is a sort of spiritual warfare being created by the governments, by the new world order, one that they have this goal of having a one government and simply manipulating all of the pawns under them. And I wouldn't worry too much about this because they are not going to win. We will win. But I want to spread awareness on the topic, on the fact that there is a true corrupt reality of our world. And the way to beat that corruption is you upgrading yourself, working on yourself, becoming a good, confident, strong person, becoming financially free, educating yourself consistently, and having meaning, having passion in your life, and believing in something bigger than yourself. The fact that we are here, it's not a coincidence. There's like a 1 in 400 trillion chance that you were actually born in this time. So for you to be alive, listening to this right now, it's not a coincidence. It is not a coincidence. And so let's get into the debt cycle. See, this is interesting. Mike Tyson, he went bankrupt when he was mid-50s, So here's this boxer, world famous boxer, makes millions, amazing boxer. No one taught this man how to manage his money. And you see this happen over and over, time and time again. NFL athletes, NBA athletes, they have millions, 50, 100, 200 mil, and they lose it all. You know why? No one taught these guys financial literacy. Why? Well, let's get into this. College is so expensive. Why is it so expensive? Well, they're providing value. There's a lot going into these systems. I don't have a problem with college being expensive. You know where the problem comes in is Mike Tyson, he made his millions. He went bankrupt, filed for bankruptcy. All of his debts cleared. That's awesome. That's good for him. What is the only debt that is not forgivable? Oh, coincidence. It's student loans. How weird. So you could have any sort of debt on our planet and you can go bankrupt and have that debt erased, except for student loans. What? You're telling me again, with the transgender thing. Let me just toss this in there. Transgender people, I have no problem with that. I think it's okay. But there comes an issue when schools and universities are pushing for this type of transition onto young individuals who have not found themselves, who have not created purpose in their lives. Like, that's where my issue comes in. If you're not forcing it upon me, I have no issue with it. Gay, lesbian, whatever you are, as long as you're a happy human being working to grow, to improve, to be positive, I'm all for you. So I just wanted to get that out there because I have a problem with the government. I have a problem with the narratives, not the people themselves who have been victimized and manipulated. I wanted to make that clear. But this debt cycle, interesting. Once again, it's the young people who are being taken advantage of. See, these college individuals, they're 18, 17 when they make this choice to go 100, 200K in debt. And then you're telling me you can't forgive that debt, but they're 18 and 17. Meanwhile, Mike Tyson is 56, made millions, and he can get his bankruptcy cleared. Where is the logic there? And I think it's good that Mike Tyson got it cleared. My point is, student debt should be forgivable. What the fuck? It should be forgivable. And here's my big riff. Schools don't teach you this financial literacy. They don't teach you about your health, and they don't teach you about psychology. And then to make it even worse, the school systems, I get it. You need structure, but you have to raise your hand to use the bathroom. You have to raise your hand to speak. I get it. You need a little structure. Maybe there could be some other sort of system, but it is too much like a prison for me not to have an issue with it. too much like a prison. You're all lined up. You're sitting down. You have to ask for permission to speak. Like, come on. And I know I cannot create all these solutions. Like, let's see if we can brainstorm real quick. What would be a better scenario than asking to use the bathroom? I know some schools have this, like maybe just a sign out sheet. Let the kid get up and use the bathroom. He should not have to ask to use the bathroom. You got to be kidding me. But let me get back and we'll end off here. Schools don't teach you about financial literacy for a reason. It's not a coincidence. Student debt is not forgivable for a reason. It's not a coincidence. They want you in debt. Why do they want you in debt? Well, because when you're in debt, you have to work for a corporation, which is fine. I think 9-to-5s have a lot of importance in our culture, in our progression. But it gets a little hairy when the companies, when the government says to the corporations, hey, you have to tell your employees to put this in your arm or else they're fired. And so why is that an issue? Well, because the employees are in debt. They have no other option. They can't pay their debt off and they can't pay their bills if without the corporation. And now the corporation is putting them into an ultimatum where you either put this unknown substance in your arm or you lose your job and therefore you're essentially homeless. Like, good Lord, the slippery slope, it is so obvious to me, and I know it's obvious to a lot of you. We need to spread this awareness. We need to educate the youth on what our school systems need to fix. We need to educate these individuals on why the government is corrupt and why you should think for yourself rather than trusting, just mindlessly trusting what is put on the TV screens. Please, I know you're smart and I know we're going to become better. We're going to grow and we will not be stopped. We will change this world for the better, but I need your help. And the best way to help me right now is drop a rating, share this with a friend, spread the message, and you yourself become an excellent individual. That's all I ask of you because that is the solution. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time. Wishing you a great day.